See this thing sticking up?
Turn left
Mm-hmm.
onto the I-10 East Rim, then continue straight.
Hi! Wow, you've moved a lot of dirt in 10 years.
Uh-huh. Now, when you were here, that parking lot was level with this back. And this was just open 3-foot thick red clay. And this is all barren because nothing will grow on it because it's 3-foot thick red clay. So when I started, I said, I need to find rocks. About the same time, I heard that the truck stop across the street was going to need some dirt. I went over there one day when the dirt started arriving. And I said, hey, I hear you need dirt. No, we got our dirt done. Who's your boss? No, I got our dirt. Got paid for it. Cash. I said, who's your boss? Got to the boss. I said, I'll match the dirt price. Where's it coming from? 18 miles away. They're charging $120 to ship it 18 miles. I sold them 5,000 semi-loads of dirt. Dirtiest money I ever made. Now, in the process, I got to dig whatever I wanted to, except for, guess what? They hauled away what I didn't want, and the rest of it I created. I said I was gonna dig and I was gonna find water, a natural spring. I found 350-foot long natural spring, and guess what?
Oh my gosh.
Guess what? That's from the ground coming up. That is not rainwater. Wow. That I went so deep, I had water coming up. That's still 10 foot, 12 foot deep. Look at the cave I made. And on the top, when I got all done, it's 40 foot high. I said, God, I wish I had a hole in top because I'm gonna face it all with glass and make floors inside because there's no hole, no tax on a hole in Texas. So all this was flat ground when you were here last. So this all fills up with water when the rainy season comes. Oh, there we go. The water, some of these areas now is 20 foot deep. It didn't used to be anything here. No water, nothing. Now, this is my swimming pool. This is what a dream is about. A vision manifested. Now, mind you, that lake exists because I changed the contour of the land. One of the things I did, of course, was to take and dig deep areas that would hold water. So I spent quite a bit of money building all that, but more than money, I spent time. Rented out a big old excavator and learned how to run all these pieces of equipment. Now, water's a key in Texas. It's key anywhere. And when you have drought, water's even more important. And it's all part of a system. The beavers been at it last night. This water here wraps all the way around here, goes back into there, and it forms a pool. And this is for keeping all this stuff up here, the deer. Look at this, is Walden Pond. Okay, that's Miracle Mountain with the ship of Salvage Dreams on top. And then that's the covered bridge over untroubled waters of Walden Pond. We haven't rained in months, and I got full bodies of water everywhere you're gonna see. So that's now, I built the ship of Salvage Dreams in 11 evenings.
All this is just from your...
Oh, my driveway, that was a shit laying in my driveway. I had no plan, I stuck 6 posts in the ground and started building, and I thought, what am I gonna do? And I ended up building a ship 3 stories tall. Ship of Salvage Dreams. That sits on Walden Pond. Walden Pond's actually pretty big. Okay, now, in Miracle Mountain, incidentally, there's a bunch of industrial landfill that was left here by a foundry long ago. And this is my way of remediating it all. And so I spent a few years of my life now creating all this paradise, to trap all this and keep it from getting into the river next door and going down the way. That mound over there behind you is going to go up 20 or 30 feet more. This mound doesn't look much from down below. When you get to the top and consider how much dirt we're piling up, and this will be another 20 feet taller, which will put us above the tree line and give us a view all the way around. Long ago, when I began my adventure in earth sculpting, none of this water existed. This whole area was barren. At some point, I managed to get a dam to stick. It's got a pipe running underneath there, and a pipe right over there, and a pipe going the backside of that mountain. So imagine I dug all this out. That water goes all the way around the back of the mountain. I made the mountain out of what I pulled out of the dirt, out of the earth. And it's a bunch of waste, industrial landfill. I covered it with clay and turned this all into a wonderland. For food, for life, there's plums, fish, turtles, beavers, otters. A miraculous world out of the imagination and trash of the past. Look at this baby. This is one of my little toys.
The oil people were here for a while?
Oh, this was 1940s. That's Hubble oil. And so that's how I knew the contour of the land. So from the back of the property to the front, there used to be a pipeline. I found it, so I used the pipeline, and underneath here, for example, the pipeline goes underneath here. I cut it up. It was abandoned by Exxon, who said it was abandoned by Hubble. I said, was it full of crap or not? Oh, we washed it out. I said, whose is it, mine or yours? They said, well, we abandoned it. I said, it must be mine. So I dug it all up. It was like $20 a linear foot. So now you're coming into the water from Walden Pond, comes into here, goes under here, comes out, and then goes over to here, and this is Dragon's Lair. So over there is a 3/4 of a mile of kayaking canals, bayous, but that at the bottom right now, there's an island in the middle you can't see with dragon's eyes in it. See the eye of the dragon. Now we're gonna have a house. I drew the house up there. And some people saw the little cartoons I'm doing. That's how you show what your imagination is, and then how you transform your imagination. That's what I love about crafting the earth. And you'll see pictures of a cave I dug down there for Trinity's birthday. It's underwater now. And you can go all the way underneath the cave and underneath the water. And I had a bed down there and a fireplace and everything underneath the other rock. It's called Dragon's Lair because it looks just like a dragon with eyes, slitted eyes, in the mouth. And inside you go underneath it. It's 8 foot tall. It was over 12 foot tall when I started. So this is a 14-foot deep pond, or 18-foot deep. And then here's the beaver. So we're gonna go down below. You're gonna be underwater. But look at here's the beaver. Look, he is active too. So this is the stuff I found. This was an industrial waste dump. And so all this stuff was buried out here. This is actually just slag, stainless steel. They had a foundry up front. What do you do when you pour metal into castings to get all the impurities out of it into the sand? Where does the sand go? A bulldozer pushes it out to the back until the EPA says, you can't do that no more. And they go, oh, we'll just leave. And I didn't know that. I bought it in too early. This, see, he's actually built all this up. So this makes him so mad because they can't stand to have water flowing. But he's actually built up over a foot. And when you dig it all up, hear that? Okay.
Now it's going. Now it's going.
Yeah, so that will keep him busy. He's trying to cut down one of the big ass trees. I mean, look at everything around here has been cut. This is a tree, look at this. Everything. He's cut it all down. So anyway, that leads into this one. And over here, gee, what a wonderful world you could create with salvage. Nothing like that, right? That's what Trinity lives in.
Hey, we
That
stood
one-
on that one, Brad.
What?
We
Yes.
stood on that one.
Exactly. Detroit, we threw away 20,000 houses last year. Cincinnati, we threw away 14,000 houses last year. All over the country, the industrialized cities are falling apart and crumbling, and we're throwing it away instead of transforming that into the treasures of the children in the future. We're actually getting ready to start. As you see as you're looking through here, we've got a lot of beadboard, all beadboard walls, all beadboard ceilings. This little room right here, one of the things we'll tear off first, little shed areas. These don't produce a lot of great wood, but they will get some nice 1x10s. This is all, looks like a loblolly pine in this case, and some of this is longleaf pine. It's in the ceiling even, we've got some nice 1x12 plank in the ceiling here. Even when you're walking through it, everything you look at. For example, here's a simple door. Doesn't look like a whole lot. Very thin, 1.25 inches, maybe an inch in this case, 1 inch thick. The beauty of this is that this door, if you want to use it for a tiny house, great for a pocket door, bathroom door, lots of possibilities. The beauty of these walls in the middle, this is beaded on both sides, you'll notice. These are 1.25 inch thick boards with a tongue and groove on them that start at the bottom underneath the floor and go all the way up through this floor into the next, all the way up into the attic. And the boards will probably run the whole length. And if you look at this, this is just a piece that's put on it for trim for the door. The wall itself is only about 1.25 inches thick going up to the second floor. That's actually what's carrying the second floor. But because it was longleaf pine, it was so incredibly strong, you could bear that load on it. It's amazing, amazing the strength. You will see the brick fireplace on the other side, and this will produce probably 500 to 1,000 brick. And then over here, one of the things you have to watch out for whenever you're working on these houses is going through to the first floor the fast way. And this is a really nice sized joist, the real lumber. Big, fat, 2x12. That is a nice chunk of wood. You can see a lot of this is loose, but even after having been leaked on for 100 years, how well it holds up. Longleaf pine was incredibly resistant to rot. Now, it also happens to be the most resistant to termites, wood borers, any kind of wood bug. That's part of why we're pulling this down. There are no more trees like that. And we're never gonna grow another tree like that. But who's gonna wait 200 years for a tree to grow? In my world, in an ideal world, our villages, we can join together, form our own town, so people can come and learn how to take trash and turn it into their occupations, their homes for their family, their future, their security, and a way to get off the grid and so much even off the system where you don't need money to survive if you can build a home out of trash. This one is actually, was this here when you were here? It was out front. I had these out front and I moved them in the back. So my objective for the next 10 years is going to be to go ahead and use this as an embassy, as a home base, to prove what's possible. What can you create with salvage? Got lots of doors, see? So I use doors for my dividers. A new life, houses without imports, houses without toxins, houses that I've proven you can make 95% pure salvage. I've proven you can make absolute industrial wasteland into a paradise. So this is the kid, and the beauty of it is, this is made out of 3 pieces of floor. They were all, one was a wall section laid flat for floor. So 3 pieces, not taken apart. That was the secret in the end. Don't take the house apart, cut up the floor, take the whole floor, build a house on it. Take a wall, use it for a wall in your tiny house. Take another wall, use it for a wall in your tiny house. So one house, instead of taking it apart, piling it up, you just take the pieces and pile them together.
So it's like salvage modular.
Exactly, you take your pieces, now you can part a house up. Instead of sacrificing, you just part it up, take the walls, flat deck them, haul them away, stand them up where you're ready to build at. So this is the kid repainted with Swedish linseed oil paint, $42 a pint, $42 a pint. But it lasts for 50 years. Imported.
I love this material. On the cabinets, that material is great.
And that's just taking old cabinets, and here's a cool trick for the hinges. See this? These are old, ugly painted hinges. Get a crock pot, do whisk, detergent, tablespoon, 40 minutes cooked at high temperature, toothbrush off all the paint, all the patina is gorgeous, no scratches. Here's, look at this one here.
But how do you get this? I love
Just
that.
sanding it. There's old paint that was on there, and you find typically that's the original paints, and they came up with white later because everything's turned white. And so you're gonna have the green or the blue.
So you're getting the history of the paint jobs.
Yes, I just left it, yeah. I said, that to me is cooler. Same with everything else. I switched over to just all natural paint. I found it in using natural wood like this. I do a lot of stuff now with natural wood. Now watch, here's how this works. So I bring the girl in, she likes my place, we do a little dance. Want to have dinner? Okay. Got Chinese. Have a seat. And then, of course, you might want to take a view upstairs. You say, oh, okay, well, gee, what a coincidence. Would you believe 6'4" upstairs? Oh, wow. That's for the fresh air that way. But this is normally
It's just the size of a bed.
That's a double bed. Yeah, I made it for a double bed, and this gives you also a view of the ship of Salvage Dreams, and just about a sunset even. It actually cools off really well in a short amount of time because it's only 67 square feet downstairs.
67 square feet.
Yes, people come from all around the world to stay here.
Great.
All this about that Salvage. This is the one that's available right now. So for about $30,000, this is because the kids always want to go inside. Bathrooms outside. There we go. This is my early judgment. 8-foot ceilings, don't need them. I went to 7 foot. Why? I don't know any 8-foot people. And then I got another foot of height up here. Because guess what? Guess what happens when you go up here and you want to make a bed? And this is the big one compared to the other one, the one I lived in. Yeah, this is comfy. You saw the one we were just in? 6'4". Only 67 foot square. This is 240.
So why have huge ceilings down below and top? Yeah.
Wasted space.
What's the ceiling? What are you using there?
Oh, that's all beadboard. Actually, in this case, it was a beadboard that was remade out of old wood, and then painted with milk paint. And then this was made out of cottonseed flooring out of a cotton mill, and I didn't put any oil on it, and you still bead water up on it. So this is really cool too. So this would normally be like somebody coming in for B&B and staying, and just typical stuff.
Great door, as always.
Oh, and I had a guy scraping it, and the guy comes inside. I say he's out there, and I said, "What the hell are you doing?" It has all the grain and stuff like the all cackle paint and stuff. A guy tried to help out the streets. You see the inside of that door. It's paint like you'd want to see that you pay a lot of money for. Just gorgeous. I show up. Oh my God, I was so upset at the guy. Except this is the guy that showed up. Another guy brought him. He had literally a tattooed underneath the other eye, "You." This big. He was not headed to good times, you know? I should have known. Is that not a clue? I've been over and over again, tried to give everybody the benefit of the doubt. I've always been a believer, you know? Sometimes I ate out of dumpsters, and I had people walk up dumpsters and look at me like I was a nobody. Oh yeah, in Las Vegas. I got my college degree, and then I was unemployable because I got a college degree, English American Lit, whoopee. But I graduated with honors.
Where are you living? You living in
I lived in a school bus. No, 1981, I graduated college to go off and write my great American novel. And I traveled from Florida all the way through Alabama to Seattle, blew up my motor in Seattle with $15 to my name, rolling down a hill with a 66 passenger school bus, the first schoolie. Yeah, and I had a 750 Kawasaki in the back.
How long did you live in there?
3 years. So I got to Florida. Went to Seattle and then came to Texas. Look at our sunset. The sun's just going down right there.
It's just the last minute.
Yeah. This is the other one that's for sale also. It's the smaller version. So this is 10 wide, which I decided was a bad size. It turns out it's better at 11 wide. Okay. And this also had a little bathroom in it too. I lived in this for a year and a half.
Oh yeah. Oh, nice kitchen. Look at the. I love the patterns here too. Look at the wood there. I mean, all
I
that.
got so much is sitting around. So here's what I got. I got $10 million worth of stuff sitting in warehouses. No desire to ever open a business again for the rest of my life. And believe it or not, and I said I was sleeping in this one too. Look at this. You think the other one was tight? Now I was brought up, you make a bed with no wrinkles. Do that from over there. You go, "Oh yeah, let me do that." Wait, oops, oh, wait a minute. Up. Oh, that's our new guest. She's moving into Barth. Remember, that's why I did my transition. I was living in that in the back before I put in my house. They were classy, really custom. Everybody had a Barth, had a number. They met in places. It was like the best of the best. Microwave, central vacuum system, ice maker. 1973, the year I graduated high school. This one we got to be a kitchen, because you can make a commercial kitchen in a trailer easy.
Oh, really?
Not in a building in Texas. So that's why you see everybody doing that. So this is Walden Pond. Oh, I'm an English American Lit major. That's where the beaver lives. You see his little entrance to his house. Underneath Gilligan's Island's boat. And that is the covered bridge over untroubled waters. And are those not beautiful waters? The Ark, which was actually on Walden Pond, the Ark was actually brought to me with all the bottom put together with 66 barrels, 30-gallon barrels underneath it. He said, "Can you build a house on top of that can float in the bayous?" I said, I'll bet I can. This was actually started, has a little potty over here and a shower on the other side. And then this is actually a fairly small space. The bed was designed to be able to fold up. There's actually a loft up above, so you can have a child stay here or have storage space. Small table to sit at and a little kitchenette over here. This goes out to a back porch, which allows you to see Walden Pond. So this back here, you can see now we have birds that live here full time. And this is all water that didn't exist before. So there's beavers and otters, and all that you see here was built up. That is now about 14 feet, 16 feet deep on the far end. And the beaver lives over underneath the little house over there. All of this is part of a big remediation project I started years ago when I found out that there was effectively an industrial waste dump here. So I found out that I had an industrial waste dump because there was a foundry at the front I didn't know about. When I bought the property, nobody ever mentioned it. And this was all flat land back here, and it was all sand, and we kept finding fragments of slag. And the more I investigated it, the more I found out that I had a serious problem. So all of the contaminants that are here are now being remediated using cattails and Egyptian papyrus and all sorts of other methods to hold the water and stabilize it and not leach out all those heavy metals into the river to be drank by the people downstream. Okay, so sometimes it comes up to how deep is it? Oh, I mean, it's nice and murky on the bottom. That's because it was dry just a little while back. He's got another area you can go to. That wraps all the way around to the back of the property. All this water, strictly rainwater. Last night we got 4 inches, added about a foot of height. See any difference? Yesterday, you can see the island. See the highway now? The waterfall is background noise. When you get down in there, you won't hear the highway, you'll hear the water. It's coming through a pipe. The pipe was here originally, abandoned by Hubble Oil Company. These are the reserve ponds. It goes right there, all underneath that hill that connects up the whole system. Now this is all fresh water, that's why so much silt. But when you understand how much water that is, send my depth tester. Okay, not bad for one night. The beauty of it is, that goes all the way around. By the time this week is over, I'll have water flowing. That's a treasure. These were dry. There we go. See that turtle? Turtles, beavers. That's a good 8 foot to 10 foot deep out there. Hear the birds. What you don't hear is much traffic. Literally just a few hundred yards away. 3 football fields away is an interstate highway. Instead, we have birds in the trees, bugs for them to eat. That's a loon. He's one of the many loons that live here now. There is a tiny house called the Bear House. And it sits on a piece of ground that, because of all the plants, we're remediating the soil, pulling out the heavy metals. And that's done in a number of ways. One of them is through the cattails. All the rainwater now is coming through here from the other ponds, again through a pipe. That's food for the beaver. And so he comes in there and eats the roots. The cattails in turn take out the heavy metals. We also have Egyptian papyrus. And so this whole area, from there, is a pipe, and that pipe goes under the ground to there. And then a nice moat that goes around the whole property. And there's my home. And below my house is a container. So this has been around, I've been living this for 10 years. Wasn't it built when you came here? Yeah.
It was built, yeah.
I just moved in. It has been the best thing in my life. This is my sleeping quarters. I come here to rest. So but the bed over here, so all this just hangs on ropes. And it's actually a church pew cut in half. And a futon mattress. And you can feel even over here, the temperature difference that close to it is dramatic. And with both the windows open, airflow all the time, I have used 2 of the barbecue propane tanks in 10 years to heat the place. Oh, totally. That, when you breathe at night, it moves with your breathing. You literally are floating. And I go out and I walk to work every day. I've never been this healthy in my life. If you'd have said when I was a kid, your best body will come at 68, I'd have gone, shh. So the thing that's different from now, from last time,
Yeah.
what do you think? 68.
How old are you?
68.
No, you're not.
68. Ta-da! I'm an old man, right? So you go, okay, on your belly, fingers out, thumbs touching. Ready? Bam! And then up. Nothing ever touches. And I haven't worked out in 5 years.
You haven't worked out.
Like the exercises, for example, simple. You of course learn the horse. Squats. So you build up yourself.
So have you read about the people who are trying to sort of hack their body with vitamins and foods and
that's so stupid.
Yeah.
Oh God. Oh my God. It's so easy to do it naturally. And then you want to go screw it up. And you know how much time do they spend doing that? Grab a shovel. Go out and do some digging. This is down to the beach. This was all a slope that you couldn't do anything with. Again, 3 foot of red clay, no standing water. Now that's all water everywhere. And you can't have, of course, life without water.
So is this some sort of water world? I mean, how do you even picture this?
Well, you got to have water to have trees. So food jungles require water, and flowing water has to be flowing. Can't have static water. Yes. Yeah, it's basically a permaculture version. So down there I can have plants growing all down the side and harvest off the sidewalls. In season I have grapes, and then I've got blackberries that are as big as my thumb with all the water around. And then, the mesquite beans is gluten-free protein. Just grind them up straight off the tree. Pounds and pounds of them and mix that in. It's great protein, it's flour. It's been used forever. Why not use it? And so stuff like that, I found it's all over the property. And so it's like one thing after another, it's all here if you look for it. I'm not sure, but I think those are supposed to be good mushrooms. I really want to explore my mushrooms because I have good mushrooms here. I've eaten some of them. So that goes all the way back and around. I'm going to build on that highway so you won't see the public anymore. But I had a mound over there. I just cut it down because I want to have some houses and things facing the water. And then I just cleaned all this out. And this is going to be another new area I've just started playing with. The waterfall will go through here, and then I'll have a house under where you're standing. Walk in the front, come out the back. And it'll be all underground, so it won't be taxable.
Goes underneath, and I was going to have a little house, a rock roof, and have the house come out and float above that and go all the way through the other side and let the water fall underneath like a Frank Lloyd Wright house with the rock across it.
We're going to go down below the water line, down to the cave, my past. We're collapsing the top over there to let light in, so be able to grow and do things down here later. You can see where the mud caves, people used to come down, actually take mud baths. This 50 foot down below the ground. Believe it or not, you guys played a real big part in my transition. You've gone out and filmed all the old people that did like I was doing, trying to go ahead and create a utopia, trying to show you could do all this stuff. I had 5 miles of shoreline I didn't have when you left.
Some of the stuff we do, we can never see. This is hard to realize because sometimes it seems like nothing happens. So, in the process of life and living it well, the idea is to go ahead and make an impression you can leave behind. It's meaningful. And that occurred to me a couple years ago that my story needed to have a place where people could come if they read it and understand what's possible. Being that example, hopefully that others will look at one day and go, wow, how'd he do that? If he could do it, I could do it. And if he could do it, I could do it better. Is that not the best reason in the world to do things that nobody else thinks you can do, so that others will understand it's possible?